Good afternoon from Dave Dillon. And as I have been telling you since last week, that I will have a co host working with me. And today she is in our studio. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Rochelle to you.
Hello, everybody.
And Rochelle is from Richmond. And we met a few weeks ago, and she had expressed to me that she would like to get involved with the podcast. And I have been putting out podcasts every week now. I did miss 2 weeks because I had a gig. I was working in theater, and so I do apologize for missing those 2 weeks. But this week we have lots of stuff to tell you, and Rochelle and I, we discussed what will be the first thing she wanted to talk about. And she had been asking me, she says, Dave, what do these actors do on the set? How do they behave? And I said, well, this is your chance to, it's your first step when you come into stardom or you want to be an actor. How you want to behave, this will be your first step, because first impression is the last impression. So these are some things that the actors will have to watch. And I'm going to ask Rochelle to start this topic, Rochelle. And I'm sure you have studied this very well, and you
Yes.
know what goes on. So what is the first thing that you will be concerned about?
Well, I heard that there's a quote that says the show must go on. So with that quote, I mean, there's a lot of things that go around that. You know, if you you're on time, you know, you're punctual as a actress. I mean, that shows a lot of character when you come on time, and it also shows that your willingness to perform. And I think that's
Absolutely.
really important, because some of the times we all have our personal problems at home,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's natural tendency you come and you bring it to work. That's not very professional, because it's all written all over your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very good. That's a very good point that she brought. Uh, if you are having problems or trouble or challenges in your life, at home with your family or with your husband or with your boyfriend or with your son or daughter, that has to be left at home. So when this is your trade, this is your work, this is where you come to earn your living. And what, just imagine you are on a bus and the driver had a fight with his wife the day before he came to work. Do you think that driver will be in his right mind to drive that bus? Of course not.
No.
He will be driving either very fast or slamming on the brakes every now and then when he thinks of the fight that he had last night, or he will be shouting at passengers. So it's the same thing. Film industry is very touchy, because people are on the edge. They want to perform, they want to do their best. And if you're not alert, Rochelle, I have seen actors, when they come, they are so involved, they got so much on their mind, because when you do audition, there are so many actors that you are competing with.
Yes.
And here you are, you're trying to put out your best, and you have to remember your lines, you are adjusting your dress, and you're getting ready, and you don't know your lines. So what happens? The first thing you would do is, without being alert, you will either trip or you will go in front of the camera without knowing.
That's so true.
Just imagine if a beautiful scene is being filmed and the dialogue is long, and both the leading lady and the leading guy has rehearsed this,
Yes.
and Rochelle doesn't know the set is hot.
Right.
That's what we call the set is hot. And you just happen to walk by and you step on a wire or you trip on a wire. This noise caused, and the microphones that are used are very sensitive. So they pick up the noise. So the director says cut.
Yes, and that leads on to my next my next point on it is the timing. You were mentioning, we were talking about the timing.
Yes.
About, if you're bringing your personal problems and it affects the whole screening of the movie,
Yes.
you are interfering with the time. We've got weather, we've got sunlight, we've got so many other factors. The timing of when the cast and crew, when they all come together, and it affects everybody. If it's affecting you, and then you're with the timing, and
Yeah.
it's not going as planned, what happens?
Absolutely. Because production is not a cheap thing to do. They cost money.
I agree.
And I think the last time I read some figures, it will cost you $10,000 an hour
Wow.
because of the crew, of the camera, of the actors, and all the expenses that you're going through each hour. Now I'm being very conservative. It's not 10,000. It's more than that. But I will just to talk about it, I'll just keep the example on 10,000. I'm not talking about the rupees or other currency. I'm talking about US dollars. That's how much it will cost. And just imagine, if you're not alert, if your energy level when you walk on the set, you are down, and everyone is counting on you. You are the actor. You will bring all the energy to the set. And if you had a fight or something was wrong last night, and you bring that to the set, so how you walk on the set, and when you're down, you become less responsive. So you have accidents.
Right.
You will either hit a light. Now just imagine, we have lights all set up, the camera all set up. And just imagine if you came with something on your mind, all the pressure that you will be facing the camera and all that, and you tripped or you moved a light. Now it takes me 1 more hour to reset the light and reset the sound. So that's what happens on the sets.
That's right.
So the first thing your agent will tell you before she sends you out on a set, Rochelle, be careful, be alert, keep your eyes open, observe where you have been blocked not to go.
Right.
Okay, if they tell you, if the first AD or the second AD will say, Rochelle, don't cross this line because you will be in the camera zone.
Yes, you gotta listen. You gotta listen.
Yeah, you got to listen.
And pay
because
attention.
You do a boo-boo, they will not let you come on the set again. And they will also call your agent who sent you that 2 hours got wasted and the leading actor was mad and we had taken the whole scene, and right at the end she caused this noise, or she came in the camera zone, or she was stalking when
Yes.
they shout camera, lights, and action, and please be quiet so no one talks, right?
That's right.
And if you are gossiping or you are calling somebody on the phone,
Yes.
and they hear these microphones again, as I said. Now, before we go any further, Rochelle,
Yes.
you probably have your audiences, your friends,
Yes.
somebody in the family
Yes.
is waiting to see you. So why don't you tell them where they can see you?
You can see me at every Monday at www.whitehillsproductions.com.
Absolutely. And I will repeat that for Rochelle. Anyone who wants to see these episodes, we will do one episode every Sunday, but it'll be on the tube on Monday. So you can watch our podcast episode every Monday. They will be posted on our website, and our website is www.whitehillsactingstudios.com, and that's where you will see my beautiful host, Rochelle.
Thank you.
The next point, what else have you observed that you want to tell our audiences?
Well, I think being a good role model, that's one thing. I mean, with the social media these days, I mean, it's a craze. everybody wants to be a star, right? On and off the screen.
Yes.
If you're a star and you're on screen and you have a reputation,
Mm-hmm.
act like it off screen too. Be a good role model. You know, make people love you outside of the screen. Conduct yourself. Just because you signed yourself into an acting career, it doesn't mean you got to play outside of the rules now. You still got to abide within the rules. I think that's the most important part of the code of ethics, right?
Absolutely. You're very right. For example, when we get actors from India, we always lay down a set of rules for them.
Yes.
People see them on the screen and you have a certain attitude, you have a certain picture that the public sees you in.
That's
you have
right.
a certain role.
Yes, that's right.
And what if you were downtown, drunk out of your mind, and police picked you up, and now you are in the local newspaper's headlines?
Yes.
And all those people who thought you were a role model
Yes.
for the youth, and here you are roaming around on probably Davy Street or somewhere else when it's not supposed to be there, and then you come to the set with alcohol breath, the smell of alcohol on your breath. That is not cool.
Yeah, I don't think
That
so
is not
too.
cool.
No, and then it goes all over the Instagram. You know how it is these days.
Yes, that's right.
All over the Instagram, social media,
Yes.
YouTube. Then I think
Absolutely.
that'd be it for someone's career if it got too far.
And the other thing, Rochelle, is be courteous.
Mm-hmm.
Be courteous on the set. Even if you're a big actor,
That's right.
everyone else is making their living. You are making your living as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
There's light people, there's sound people, there's camera people. They probably arrived much earlier than you did
Yeah.
at the set to set up the lights, unload the truck. So they are putting more hours, and they left their family much more earlier than you did. And then you come with an attitude, and you are not mentioning them saying thank you or wishing them good morning or good afternoon, and you seem to be a high-nosed person. And guess what happens? The whole crew is now looking at you and saying, Rochelle, what a... Okay. Then you get a name. So everyone is doing their work. So what we need to do is respect each other's boundaries
Yes, that's right.
and give them respect
Mm-hmm.
and just behave like you want other people to behave with you.
That's right.
Do you agree on that?
I do agree. And I also, in every day in life, I always practice this one thing, Dave, is never to blame. I think we all have the tendency to blame when something goes wrong. We blame our co-actors and the people we work with, the production, and blame is not a part of the game. You know, I think blame stems from within yourself and it comes outward. And so I think by blaming, you never learn your mistakes, right?
Absolutely.
You got to look at
Yeah.
yourself in the mirror and say, you know, I got to do better the next time and come with a better attitude. And it's not everybody else, but it's just me,
Absolutely.
right?
Rochelle has brought out a very important point. If you screw up, don't blame it on anyone else. If you forgot your line, if you didn't do the scene right, it's not the cameraman, it's not the producer, it's not the director, or it's not the whole crew that screwed you up. It's yourself. So if you screwed up, just admit it to yourself and just come up with another way of doing it right next time.
That's right.
So this episode, we are talking about general things, general ethics, manners, what to do on the sets when you are making a film or even being on the set as a crew. We will be right back after a short break. So don't go too far because we have so many other important things that you would really like to hear. This is Rochelle and this is Dave Dillon saying goodbye till the next episode. Thank you. We'll be right back.